So you're a fan of Atlanta United, and after winning MLS Cup in year 2, you'd think we'd be contending every year.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what you guys thought.
6 years, 3 coaches, an interim coach,
Twice.
and no legitimate runs at the title? What the hell happened?
Well, you've come to the right place.
Was it bad front office player management?
Probably.
Were the coaches all wrong?
Yep.
Did the tactics suck?
Definitely.
Didn't we already cover that?
Yeah, but it's a new era with new hope and new questions to discuss.
Is Dyla the answer? Are Lagerwey and Henderson the right dynamic duo? Or will they spend all our gam on another Miguel Berry?
Join us as we drink wine, break it all down, and sort it all out.
I'm Mikey Dobbs.
I'm David Katz.
And I'm Carmen Butler.
And this is Season 7
of the ATL On Fire podcast show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of ATL On Fire, the podcast where we talk all things Atlanta United Football Club and all things soccer. And after how many months has it been, Dave, Carmen?
Oh, yeesh, it's been a minute.
It's been a million.
Yeah.
We gave up just like Atlanta United on 2025,
Wait, what?
but we're back for 2026.
I have to confess.
Yes.
I still watched. I still watched all
Did
the matches.
you? All of them?
You're
Yeah.
brave.
Like every single one?
Yeah, everyone.
Oh, wow. That's
I'm a
impressive.
masochist.
Like as a group though that does a podcast about Atlanta United. I mean, I went to a couple games. I really, as someone who is religious about watching every game, it's just sad that it has gone this far. That, but I don't know. Tata is back.
Yay!
There's hope. There's hope.
Oh.
How was everybody's holiday? Christmas,
You're like last 4
Hanukkah,
months.
Festivus.
It's good. It's good.
I got a real problem with you people, and now we're going to talk about it.
Oh,
Yay!
Yeah.
But happy to be back. I've missed you guys.
As
missed you a
well.
lot. Yeah, so I'm really happy to be back.
Carmen, what did you have you done anything exciting over the
I
break?
miss
or just,
Carmen. Mikey Dobbs, not so much. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, man. I missed you. I just missed you.
Yes, I missed you both. But let's see, have I done anything exciting? No, my life is quite boring. My boys are home from college.
Okay.
That's sad. That's about the most exciting thing that's
Well,
happened.
that is exciting after
I'll
it's
take
quiet.
it. Yeah, it was so quiet, and everything was mine and my space. and now it's
Laundry,
been-
more laundry.
Oh my gosh, and the food,
Yeah.
the grocery bill. Oh, it's ridiculous. But yes, it's been a great holiday season.
Good.
Yeah.
Dave, you're an empty nester now.
That's correct.
How's that?
It's quiet.
Quiet?
Awesome. No, it's good. It's really good. Kids are in college.
And I have a bum shoulder. I just had rotator cuff surgery
Right.
5 weeks ago. So
One could
can
say
move
you've
this
been
arm.
shouldering too much of the burden
indeed.
of the whole weight of the world. The whole club, Mikey Dobbs, has been on your shoulders.
I know.
But now it's been relieved.
Yes.
The weight has been lifted.
So Dave, you've
no
watched
more Sisyphus.
every game throughout the year. So we're going to talk about Atlanta United through the doldrums to where we are now with no one left on the back of the shirt.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Brad Guzan. Brad Guzan is the last person on the back of
Oh,
the
I would
shirt. Right?
Check that.
There's
Well,
a
my arm
Carlton.
is back, though.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
that's-
Touche. Okay. So
Gone and back.
Okay. One person gone and back. All right.
That's crazy.
Since the 2018 championship, Almiron is the only one on the roster. Brad Guzan's retired. You sent a text the other day about a new goalkeeper signing. We can get to that in a minute. Dave, where do you want to go?
You heard the old joke about last year's club?
No.
So, there's a kid, and he's being abused by his family. So the court comes, and they take him away, and they send him to another family. And unfortunately, with his uncle or aunt or whatever, he gets abused there too, right?
Ah.
And so then he comes in front of the judge, and he's like, it's not good. And the judge says, who do you want to be with? Like, how do you, whatever. Yeah. And he says, oh, well, I would like my guardian to be Atlanta United. He says, Atlanta United? What do you mean? Why Atlanta United? He's like, because they can't beat anybody.
Oh. I apologize, listeners, but we deserve that after this long season.
We kind of do.
So, Dave, you lost the bet that we made at the very beginning of the season on our first podcast, which is
That's correct.
Who would win MLS Cup?
I had Cincinnati. I really thought that Miami, just had too many dysfunctions. And I, to be honest, I said, look, I thought Messi wouldn't make it at 100%. And I did say if he was 100%, that's a different story. But I predicted that he wouldn't, and I was wrong. He showed longevity.
He had like 46 goals.
And the hardest game in the playoffs against Cincinnati, I mean, he just single-handedly beat Cincinnati.
How many goals did he have this season? 46? Am I wrong on that?
It was a lot.
Something crazy like that. And and missed a bunch of games as well.
MVP again.
Yeah, again. Rightfully so.
He's pretty good.
So
still.
with me predicting the future, which was obvious.
Yeah. So in case you were, stuck in a bunker or you only care about Atlanta United, it was Miami over Vancouver in the final.
Yeah.
Was Vancouver good the whole year? Like, I don't even
remember.
Yeah,
they were the better team in the final too.
Oh, really?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they really were. They got unlucky they didn't win that game. They had some chances they should have put away, and
They did have some chances, but
changed everything.
I'm not sure they were the better team anyway.
I think that they may have been the better team. Once again, I picked this team to be the winner, and I'm calling them out as not necessarily the best team in that match, in my opinion.
Okay, all right.
Now, once Miami was cooking, they looked great, but I think overall, in terms of quality on the pitch, had the momentum shifted 1 degree, I think that would have been a different match. But that's how it goes. Okay. But since you've lost, you brought a lovely bottle of wine. What are we drinking here?
This is a Santa Rita, which is a Chilean wine from the Maipo Valley. It's a Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's like their high end. This is a huge producer, so they make a lot of different wines. This is their really, really high end, called the Medalla Real Gold Medal. What do you think?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Carmen?
Yeah.
Delicious.
Especially now, that's like my
delicious,
third sip. Starting to change my palate a little bit. Loving it. So
almost as good as Wolf Mountain Vineyard, our sponsor.
Yes. So cold, but still a good place to go up, have some lunch.
Yeah, for sure.
Check out the vineyard. Definitely good, as we get momentum going into the spring with some wins, celebrate up at Wolf Mountain Vineyards.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we have a little bit of sympathy for those guys because as a fellow winemaker, the weather this year was terrible and all the harvest in all of Georgia was awful. So I have go to the winery and, support the winery.
And if you don't want to make that drive up to Dahlonega Plateau or Dahlonega, what do they call it? It's actual.
Yeah, Dahlonega.
No, but what's
they did have that area that I didn't know existed.
wine area.
Anyway. We'll figure it out. But
anyway, if you don't want to make that drive, go to one of the Wild Heaven locations in Atlanta, in Avondale Estates, Toco Hills, and was it West Side?
And will we be doing our annual preseason preview from the brewery again?
I'm sure we could schedule that. Right. Let's talk to Hayden and make that happen.
Get that out there for the folks. Come out there.
Get motivated.
I've been gathering a lot of, swag and accoutrement.
And so for the listeners out there, we're going to get into some soccer here, but we definitely took some time off.
Can you tell?
I think
does it show?
I'm like, where are all the buttons?
Part of it was because of our struggles. Part of it is just it's a lot of work doing a podcast, and I appreciate you guys coming over 45 minutes, an hour early, helping set this up after putting things in storage. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Like, we came over here and nothing was set up, and I was like, "What?
Yeah,
you mean it doesn't just magically appear?
The studio doesn't just boom."
Yeah.
Basically, Mikey Dobbs is the Santa of this podcast. Yeah. You just walk in and everything.
Come down the chimney,
beautiful.
Yeah, I like it.
So, Dave, you're gonna have to pretty much own and operate the agenda here for what we're going to talk about with Atlanta United from the last time that we broadcast. Where have we gone? Anything good happen? Any good notes throughout the end of the year that we want to talk about? The way we finished?
Oh, I mean, the end of the year was all bad. I mean,
we
Ronnie
couldn't even win the wooden spoon.
Well, we came very close.
Very close.
I know.
Very close.
Yeah,
on the last day, we came down to the last day.
I still couldn't.
We could have run the wooden spoon for the worst record in MLS. I mean, per dollar as the highest spending team in MLS and
That's ridiculous.
almost the worst record.
How is that
You
even
can't really do any
possible?
worse than that.
So how is it though? Because this is what I want to talk about, Carmen. Dave always talks about coaching. Ronnie Dyla, by all accounts, like we were fairly excited. We rewinding, we thought we fell into him because we didn't think Garth and the team actually had somebody until he became available at the last second, and that was like the best option.
Yeah, it was a pretty shambolic search.
It was a shambolic search.
Yep.
We defaulted to him after maybe going with some other options that were out there. But he seemed like certainly a solid enough pick.
Yeah, his record was good.
Given his...
And he had won an MLS Cup.
Won an MLS Cup. Had won some...
Now there were some, I mean, we were pretty high on him. Just I hadn't really seen him coach much at all, but I was pretty high on him based almost exclusively on the record, and his record was good. Now there were a little bit of like slight flags, like for example, even when he won the MLS Cup, they won it after finishing like fourth in the league. They weren't like dominant. Even some of the titles that he had won the next year in those leagues, he didn't always do that well. He got run out of a couple of places. There were some red flags too, but overall, we were, considering how shambolic the search was, we were pretty happy.
Yeah, we were. But
And then
how wrong
then
were we?
saw him team.
So why so wrong on him? Why so bad?
Well, because he didn't do anything really. So like, as a coach, some coaches are known as an offensive coach. Some
Like
coaches,
Tata, right?
but Tata's just a good coach overall. But some people are really known for producing offense. Some people are really good at producing defense. Some people are pressing coaches. And our team did nothing of note in any aspect. We didn't really press very well. We didn't really generate a lot of offense. Our defense was terrible. Even though, possession-wise, we had a lot of possession at times, we just would give up goals. Like they kept saying, again, expected goals. But compared to the chances that we gave up for the times they went up the field were just really bad chances. So nothing was good. Like you look across the board and you want to say, all right, well, at least X was, impressive and that's something to build on. You kind of get the feeling that his record was mostly based on he's clearly a motivator, like particularly at the beginning that the players, liked to play for him and they were fairly motivated, although that disappeared pretty quickly too. So it wasn't so great.
Yeah.
I think, I think his record is predicated on basically being just a generally decent coach in a lot of areas, nothing special, and he's had some good teams and he's won.
So, but how do you be wooden spoon?
How are we that bad?
How are we that bad?
That's the thing.
You're not adding it up for me.
Yeah.
You're doing coach speak to me right now. Because here's what I want to say too. Yeah. It's like,
Well, goal differential, we weren't that as bad as
I'm just questioning Dave Katz here, okay, Carmen? Your Manchester United coach, Amaranth.
He's the worst.
He's the worst, right? But why are they fifth?
Luck.
Dumb luck.
I don't understand that at all.
Okay, so now it's all about luck. I'm just challenging Dave on what is why because here's what I'm saying. I'll tell you why Manchester United is good all of a sudden. It's because there's some actual better players out on the field.
They improved some of the players. I mean, Bueno is really good. Real.
Yes.
Cunha is legit.
Cunha that you took from the Wolves, which are going down.
These are good players.
Yes.
And you can, to be fair, there are times when you can just have players carry a coach. Like if you have a good enough team that's on the field. And our team, I would argue, we'll get into it in a minute about what we have coming back and whether it's good enough. But our team, I would argue, had a ton of talent, but not necessarily the kind of talent that just single-handedly produces. Like Messi, for example, you put him almost in anything and he just will do it. Right? And Bueno is a perfect example, right? You put him kind of on anything and he just kind of does his own thing. I don't think he needs a team doing whatever. But there are players who play really well within a certain, team and when they're going well, but then not when they're not in a system. And we have a lot of those.
And then another coach you were down on, or certainly questioning, was Mascherano. Mm-hmm. You're like, that's a disaster. So here's what I'm saying, Carmen. Not a lot of things aren't adding up with Dave's predictions.
The math
here.
ain't mathin'.
Yeah.
I would say
Dave-
Mascherano is he proved to be a little bit better coach than I thought he was.
I
He
think
didn't have
so.
a lot of experience. That's why I was down on him.
Right.
I wasn't really down on him because he had done anything. He'd never coached a professional team, so it's hard to know.
You got to be pretty high on him now. Actually, after I thought he did.
I
some
think he did a
things-
pretty good job actually overall. Although that being said, you compare his record to Tata, and the regular season record wasn't nearly as good, and he had Messi for a lot more games than Tata did. So, for all those people in Miami being like, "Oh, he's great, he won the title," I'm like, basically he just maximized a little bit Messi, and Messi was great.
Yeah, and or did Messi just kind of run things behind the scenes?
Maybe, but so I'm not blown away by Mascherano. And in the MLS, it can be very misleading because unlike most leagues where you win the most points, you win the league. Here, you win the most points, you get the Supporters Shield, and then you still got to get hot and make a playoffs. So they're two different things, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, Tata, the 1 year in charge of Miami, he won the Supporters Shield as the best record despite having Messi hurt a lot of the year. And then they got unlucky against us in the playoffs. And that can happen. And that's not really on him as being a terrible coach.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
You'd like to see your coach winning a lot of games all the time, and you figure if you do that, eventually you're going to have success in the playoffs. For example, for those Cincinnati fans who are ready to jump off, the bridge for Pat Noonan, I would say don't. He consistently wins a ton of games, and it's going to come in the playoffs. He just got shredded by Miami and Messi on one night.
Oh, and another coach, Carmen.
Which coach is this?
How's Wilfred Nancy doing over at Celtic?
Well, he's only been in charge 5 games.
And how's it going?
He's only won once.
Not so great.
Not great yet.
Okay, not
Well,
great yet.
Not great yet.
But you parachute a guy into the middle
That's
of the
hard.
season and you give him 4 games. I mean, they were like, we should get him out. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. Okay.
He was wearing the wrong colored shoes, evidently. Or
and,
something like that.
What happened?
Like everyone over there has they are superstitious or something. I don't know.
I think he can really coach. And if I were a Celtic fan, I wouldn't worry yet. Like, come on. Right.
So, all right.
And Tyler is the same way, right? We had to see a full year to see.
So I've
for
thrown
sure.
some darts at you. Okay.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
thrown some darts at you.
Yeah.
Now I've talked to a lot of our old Atlanta United friends who are not totally sold on even Tata coming back.
Oh, really?
Which would be crazy, right? Because a lot of them don't necessarily know like what makes a good coach or all the things we're talking about, and think it's like, oh, it's like a more of a sentimental thing. And it's like, no, that's not it. It's like you either are a great coach or you're not.
Yeah.
You know how to coach soccer or not. And Tata has clearly everywhere he's been. That only like you can only even rub salt even in the Mexico job a little bit, but he overachieved even there, and everywhere else he's been.
If you
phenomenal.
look at his record in the modern era in MLS, he has by far the highest winning percentage in the modern era of the MLS. Tata does. By far. It's not even close. It's way above Noonan. It's way above, name your favorite coach, right?
Yeah.
Caleb Porter, who's won the title a number of times. It's way above anybody, right? And you pair that on top of the fact that when he was here, he also helped build the team by identifying the talent players. You're like, how could you not want that back? Who would not, in any league at any time in any sport, who would not sign up for the highest winning percentage coach in the history of the league? Like, who wouldn't sign up for that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Atlanta United fans are saying, "Oh, we don't want Tata back. It's recycling something, whatever." Like, I mean, there it is. You're saying like Bradley, who had a great record and won the title, his winning percentage is 50. It said Tata Martinez is 60. It's like 10 percentage higher. Bruce Arena 53. Right, those are the best coaches in history. His is 60. It's 10 percentage points higher than any of the best
Massive.
coaches. I mean, what else do you want in this league? He's even had success here. And you might say, all right, well, he was in one great system here or whatever, but he did it at a different MLS club. And they say, okay, well, he had Messi. But, if you say, all right, he only won because of Messi, then you're like, well, how did he win with Atlanta? Right?
Yep.
I mean, come on. It doesn't mean he'll has to work out, but as a front office, that is the number one most clear no-brainer. And anybody who's saying otherwise is an idiot.
I can't argue with that. I'll take him any day.
That's
The record just speaks for itself.
what I've been saying to everybody, by the way, just in case you're curious.
Yeah.
So I realized too, we're not actually broadcasting camera. Maybe the audio is, but it's not. It's not actually.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. At least I don't think so. So I apologize for those trying to join via YouTube. But this will be our lovely voices on the podcast, nonetheless.
Okay.
So, Dave.
So my bottom line is that Tata is an amazing signing. And there's a real contrast in spin, if you will, that's going out there, right? So there's a number of people who are like, our team sucked, because literally when you watched them on the field, they did suck, right? And we had a horrible record. And so we are so far away from ever being competitive, right? And then there's another train of thought that says that the coach was so bad and the team is actually pretty good, and you don't need to do a lot of things, maybe a little trimming around the edges.
And did you hear anything from Tata in press conferences that would allude to that?
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is, for most of the social media has said, and even some of the major, MLS people like Bogert and whatever, Felipe Cardenas, they've said, our team is horrible. I'm like, you guys don't know what you're looking at as far as I'm concerned, because we've been saying all along that we thought the players were excellent, and we'll go through the roster. But there's a narrative out there that the team is so far away, and Tata has come in and said, no. Like, he's like, do you need, 7 players and 6 windows to make us good? He's like, no. He's like, we have a good team. We have a very balanced, good team. Not to say that we can't be improved, and there are things that I think clearly need some tweaking around the edges, but he has totally, if you have, Bogert or whatever on one side who says we need a whole overhaul, Tata's completely on the other side.
Yeah.
And, soccer-wise, who do you think is actually better at evaluating talent?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I would say from our standpoint, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'll say from my standpoint, I was saying it all year. The players are not the problem.
Yeah.
We have talent.
And I think back to your other point, like some teams carry themselves, right? Like clearly we had a ton of talent last year, but it wasn't a team that could carry itself. You had to have some coaching to fix some major cracks, right? Mm-hmm. We knew the Luis Abram crack was a major one.
Huge.
And if you don't have a coach to put some putty over that, then you get what we had.
In the back were really vulnerable.
Yeah, it was, and we knew that going into the season, and the fact that it just was never addressed, and it was almost like an excuse is inexcusable, really, because you're just letting a bunch of other talent in front of that back line just go to waste.
The interesting thing is the club did address it.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Mihaj jersey. People are like, who the hell's Mihaj? But the club signed Barakal and Mihaj late in the season.
Yeah, but that was already too late.
Well, that was mid-season.
It was already too late.
We didn't get better.
It was already
But
that was already too late not to have addressed like the Abram situation and made some coaching decisions, right?
And the Guzan situation.
And so I think like that's exactly what and the Guzan situation. I think he waited around for that signing and uncertainties. Honestly, I don't know if he's any good or not.
Well, if you're a great coach, right, you have to be able to coach around that problem and overachieve your talent in the back. So, you have to be able to come up with a system that it's not with the talent that we had. I don't expect us to be a top 5 defense or whatever, but all we had to do was to be mediocre and have a good system. And when we probably could have been top 5 teams in the league because we could score goals. And he just had no ability to address it. He didn't know how to solve the problem. Like he was unable to coach them up, that one part that was our weakness. And so it just kept falling apart, because even games where we would play well and we would, either score or we would look dangerous, then we'd give up a, crap goal, and they just deflate.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a lot of games where that was like that, where we were playing not too badly, but then we gave, one attack and it was just an easy goal. And you're like, dude.
Yeah.
And you know what was the problem? It was Abram, it was Guzan, it was Brooks Lennon, who has been a problem for a very long time as defensively. But if you look at our team, even by midseason, and now for sure, there's no more Abram, there's no more Lennon, there's no more Guzan.
Yeah. And I will say the hanging on to Guzan for as long as we did and letting him play without any sort of serious competition for his spot is shambolic at best. Like that's a Garth Lagerwey real issue I had. He was in that seat for what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
And when the day he actually took the job should have been the day that he had that conversation.
And he was a goalkeeper.
He was a goalkeeper. That's what I was about to say. He was a goalkeeper.
Yeah. I think like that maybe emotional connection.
That's what it is.
Like he gave him way too much rope.
One thing I would say, though, I would also blame Dyla, right? Because as a coach, I would have been losing my mind. You know, the number of times where they would have some kind of long shot or whatever, it'd take a little deflection, right? Guzan would be going one way, and then he just couldn't turn around, and it would go right next to him for a goal. Yeah. Those goals, as a coach or as a defender, it drives you nuts.
But I didn't see Ronnie Dyla make any hard decisions early on in the year to send a message and to make the team compete for their positions. I didn't see any of that.
Well, actually, I did see some of that. Like, he kept benching people.
Like who? Remind me. Did he not? Because he sure as hell didn't bench Luis Abram, who was horrific by any standard of the eyeball.
But who else did we have, though? That was the other
Doesn't matter. Let them earn it.
There were a few people at times who got benched. I mean, Saba being one of them.
Cobb.
He kept benching different people and blaming certain people. He definitely had this weird accountability because every once in a while, I mean, like not every once in a while, you'd have like, all of a sudden he'd start Will Riley or he'd start Jay Fortune or he would start, and you're like, that's overreacting, right? Like you got to know as a coach, you have to be able to identify the problem. And one thing that we kept saying over and over is it's so clear that he had no idea what the problem was. So if you don't know what the problem is, you can't fix it, right? Yeah. And you have to have an assessment of players, and you have to stick with that assessment, right? So you have to know if they're a good player or not, and you have to know their strengths and their weaknesses. And if you've assessed that correctly, then you would know this is something I don't change because that's a strength, and this is something that I do change. And you just got the sense that his player evaluation was really poor, and Pineda was even worse. His player evaluation was just like.
Pineda couldn't even make it commentary. I saw him like in the booth for a second. They're like, "All right, you got to go now."
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah.
That
so
was
bad
hard to watch.
So I don't know. When I'm watching it as a coach, it's so clear to me what strengths and weaknesses are. Who and you're like you're fixing something that wasn't a problem. You're not fixing something that is a problem.
Yeah.
I wrote it down late in the season. I was looking at some of my late notes for this podcast. There was a game when we were out in California. There was 2 games, actually. There was a late game against maybe the Galaxy and one against San Diego. It was one where we started with 5 in the back, right, to try to, on the road, tough game against San Diego. Not make sense. They were leading the Western Conference. You're on the road. Why not, be more defensive, right? But he played 5 in the back, and there was no defense. You're like, it doesn't just by putting 5 players in the back, Mikey Dobbs, doesn't solve defensive problems. Yeah. Like he had 5 guys, and they were pinching in, and they were still leaving the guys wide open out wide, and the guys were holding hands in the middle. Like, what are we doing? Nothing. Yeah. And you're like, that's not recognizing the problem.
All right, so. Now that we're moving on to the new year, we've seen some players already start to exit, including Brad Guzani's retiring. Yes. I know Brooks Lennon is gone. Who else has exited the club?
Muyumba, gone.
Oh, I missed that one.
Let's see.
Putting you on the spot here.
It hasn't been that much because, people were expecting these mass exodus, right? And Tata has told you that, no.
Yep.
Okay.
And you and I were never super high in Muyumba. I think we were okay with his luxury role in certain matches. Like his athleticism could be a benefit if he had their other supporting pieces around him, but not necessarily a starter. and we can do better there.
I would like to go. You want to go player for player and just talk
Yeah,
about
let's
our
do it.
roster?
Let's do it.
Right.
All right. So we'll start in the back. So Guzan is gone, and now the only guy you have.
Hibbert still?
Hibbert's back.
Hibbert's
we
back.
also lost Cohen. He's gone.
Okay. And now we've got a new Argentinian
Yeah. Hoyas.
from New Old Boys,
Yeah. What's his name?
Lucas.
Yeah.
Is that right? Am I making that up?
Something like that.
Lucas Hoyas. So
Yes, it is Lucas Hoyos.
Hoyos.
From Bienvenida Lucas with an Argentinian flag next to his name. I think that's right.
okay.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, who did we sign him for? Yeah. Like, is he signing to be the number one?
And how old is he? He's only 6 foot tall. I did look that up.
And he's old. He's like 34,
is he
36.
36?
Yeah, he's not young.
6 foot tall. Troy's taller than he is.
Yeah, and I watched some clips. I read some things about him. Nothing looks impressive. Yeah. So, but you can only imagine he's got to be coming to be the veteran presence and to help, whatever. But
it's clearly a Tata influenced pick, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't feel like a starter.
No, doesn't feel like a starter to me at all. So then the question is, does Tata think that Hibbert is the starter, or are we still looking for a goalkeeper?
Interesting.
Don't know. What do you think?
I would be shocked if Tata isn't ready to anoint Hibbert as the starter.
Okay.
He doesn't seem like, goalkeeping. He's always had veterans. Maybe he's seen something. I'm sure he does a ton of evaluation, but I would be surprised, if we're going to put a little bet on it. I think there's another goalkeeper coming before the season starts. The starter.
The starter's coming.
You think the starter's coming?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think there's still another signing.
He didn't use the right words there, did he?
All right, what did I say? Sorry.
You said that you thought Tata was ready to anoint Hibbert as a goalkeeper.
Not ready to anoint him as a goalkeeper.
Not ready. Okay.
Not ready to anoint him as a goalkeeper. I would be surprised. Now, maybe he is. Because you would say normally, how many teams are going to be signing 2 goalkeepers?
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't. I think there's another goalkeeper.
This guy
coming.
is coming from Necaxa. Where is he?
Where is he coming from?
He's in Argentina.
Yeah, but I think he was playing in Liga MX at
I don't even know
Necaxa. Maybe I read that wrong. Maybe it's the other younger player.
Maybe so.
No, I think he's coming from Argentinian club.
Okay.
Anyway.
Now, how did Hibbert do at the end of the season? He got some playing time, and I wasn't watching, so I don't know. How did he do?
His shot stopping is excellent. His positional sense and coverage, in the air didn't look phenomenal.
Footwork, not so good.
It's funny if you could have combined Hibbert with Guzan at the end, because Guzan still was pretty good at positionally and in the air.
Yeah.
And he just shot stopping, his ability to go left and right was gone in the end. If you could have just taken that from Hibbert and put it with Guzan, but there's nothing about Hibbert that says to me like top 5, top 10 goalkeeper in MLS. Yeah. I think he's serviceable,
Right.
but if I were Atlanta United, I'd be looking for a number 1, and I really thought the guy was the Canadian goalkeeper who was free agent. I thought we were going to sign him, and he went to Inter Miami.
Did he really?
The best goalkeeper in the league.
All right. So let's keep going out of the back. Out of the back, center backs, right? We've got Gregerson coming back, hopefully.
Gregerson's back, and he's been good when he's healthy, but he's never healthy.
So do you think he'll stay healthy this season?
His record says no.
Yeah, record says no. Okay. Who else do
They signed 2 center backs, 2 high quality in their prime center backs towards the end of the season.
And their names were?
Ania Minaj, and then Juan Barracal, both of whom are right in their prime. And, I thought my initial analysis was that Mihaj is for real, the real deal. He's terrific. He looks like he could read the game. Me as a coach, I'm looking for first things first. Do you read the game? Do you see them moving before the play happens? Do they cover in behind people? For anybody who's a Manchester United fan, if you're watching the young kid Heaven, he's the worst. He doesn't read the game at all.
It's horrible.
But anyway, so people are like, "Oh, he's the next person." He is not, in my opinion. If you compare, Manchester United, you compare him and whatchamacallit from Argentina. Martinez comes back, and right away it's like watching like a Ferrari next to a
Pinto.
Right? Because you can just see him reading and moving, right? And so I didn't think so. Baracal looked to me like, nah, I was not happy on him, and it was interesting because initially, Dyla put Mihaj right in the back. And he started, and then eventually he replaced him with Baracal. And I was like, what are we doing? Because I don't think Baracal is better. Now, we didn't see a huge amount of them, so I would say my jury's still out a little bit.
Who was playing next to him towards the end of the season? And center back. Who are our two center backs?
At the end of the season, he had all kinds of crazy stuff going on at the end. I don't even
I love the way
remember.
Mikey Dobbs and I are like,
Maybe Carmen can bring up the starting lineup for one of our last couple of games. But I don't think it wasn't Mihaj and Baracal together. He replaced him with it, which was weird. Anyway, Ronald Hernandez is back, but I think it's
so we've got three
center backs.
3 quality center backs.
I would say 2 quality center backs.
Okay. 2 quality. So
in my opinion,
one of them goes
Gregerson
down,
and
which
Mahabs would be the starter. But I think Baracal, I mean, it's not saying much, but he seemed better than a Braum.
So we're one injury away from being right where we were last year.
No, I don't.
Which is Gregerson, which is just a matter of time.
We're one injury away from being way above where we were last year. Because
No,
let's say
I'm
Gregerson goes
just saying
down and it's Baracal.
With the center back situation.
Yeah, I know. But let's say if Gregerson goes down and it's Baracal, it's still way above a Braum.
Well, you were just saying he's just a little bit better.
Well.
So if you're being tongue-in-cheek there, I don't know.
That was, yeah.
Okay, so we're
There are cones.
a slight upgrade in our center back situation.
Yeah. I mean, I think Mihaj is good. Look at that. I was wrong. He was playing the last game. Carmen pulled it up, and we played Mihaj and Baracal together.
All right, so we have Amador coming back,
is back at
which
left.
you and I have always been high on.
I think he's great.
Super quality player.
It seems like tactically the coaching has been a little bit all over the place. Initially, he was brilliant. He would only get forward a very limited number of times, but when he did, the timing was perfect, and he can clearly service a ball. Later in the season, he had him going all the time again, and then he had him stopping. It was like it was a little weird, but I presume that's just bad coaching.
Yeah.
And if you just get a systematic thing, I think he's good.
You got to figure Tata is hungry to leverage him as a guy that can stay home and then give him that freedom to bomb up when it's his time.
Wait, who are y'all just talking about? Who's this we're talking about?
Amador.
Amador,
Okay.
Left back.
Okay, got it.
So Ronald Hernandez still around?
Yeah. Now the question is right back. So now I really loved Matt Edwards. He was our super signing.
too.
Oh, that's
I mean,
right.
he looked like legit. Now, but he got hurt.
Okay.
And he missed the whole second half of the year. So he wasn't capable.
Yeah.
But he looked to me like a way better defender than Brooks Lennon, and he could
Yeah.
still get forward and service across. So I'm kind of assuming that he's the starter right now. Yeah. But I think a lot of people would out there look at it and say, oh, we got to be signing a right back because there's no starter. But I think they're wrong. I think that Matt Edwards is the starter.
I have no problem with that. I was a big fan of his.
And you have a backup, which is the all-flexible Hernandez, who can play anywhere along the back line.
Okay.
But I think...
I mean, we can definitely upgrade there.
There's a rumor that this young kid's coming from Argentina. He's supposed to be a center back. I don't know whether he has any flexibility and can play right back.
All right. So now let's move it on up the field.
The center midfield, right?
Center midfield.
At the end of the season...
We signed the guy from Hull City.
Yeah, and that was a Dyla signing, right? Because he had played for Dyla in Belgium before, right?
Is that why he's a disaster?
Alzate.
He certainly didn't shine. Let's put it that way. His first game,
he was supposed to be a ball playing, could do a little bit of everything, and
he had some knucklehead.
When I looked at him, it looked like he could do a little bit of nothing. He wasn't that great passing, So going back to the midfield, right? How do you evaluate a midfield, right? I'm looking for my midfielders, right? I'm looking for something that they do really well, right? So first of all, you'd like to have one of them who's a really good ball winner, right? To be the defensive guy who can read the game, who can go get a tackle in, who could turn the ball over again, who could build the midfield around, right? I think we've had that player for a long time in Sleaze. I think that the coaching has totally gotten that, Dyla had him for a little while as an attacking midfielder, and then he went back, and then he was in the double pivot and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, just free Sleaze, put him in the center midfield, defensive center midfield by himself.
Do we still have Sleaze?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people are down on Sleaze. They think he sucks, but I think he's terrific.
We're about to see how good he is under Tata.
Yeah, we're going to see.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, Alzate.
Yeah.
Are we getting rid of him?
We're not going to get rid of him.
Do we know what his
him.
contract is going to prohibit us from getting? Because we paid a good bit for him too. I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's not cheap. At least there was a somewhat of a decent transfer for him. I think
he doesn't look to me. He was the kind of signing who you wanted. You wanted a guy. I mean, we want to bring back our
Colombian.
What is it? 27.
27 years old. So he's right in his prime.
Yeah, what you wanted is a box-to-box midfielder who can do a little bit of everything. But what I was going to say is that you're looking for midfielders, so you either have to be a guy who can really read the game and get a tackle in and win the ball back, and that's your thing, or you've got to be a guy who can really, control the ball. Like Nagbe is a perfect example, right? Doesn't really score many goals. Is not a real tackler, but is really good positionally and is so good on the ball, breaking lines, right? So that's his thing. That's a talent. There's three things that you need in the midfield. One guy who's going to certainly win the ball, one guy who can really possess it and break the lines, and then one guy who's adding to the attack, preferably by making amazing passes to open up, goals, and then maybe showing up in the box occasionally and scoring. Now, if you look at our midfielders, you look at Miranchuk, right? Mm-hmm. So Miranchuk, people are down on him. I am not down on him because what does he do? He's good on the ball, right? He's got a really good first touch. He holds it. Occasionally, he's a little too cute with it, but I think that can be fixed with coaching. But he can really deliver a ball forward, and he scores. He clearly comes up and scores. So he looks like, an attacking guy who can add to you. He moves. You also have to have midfielders who move. You can't have guys, people are like, when you're only watching the ball, you're like, oh, but there's nobody open. Yeah, because people have to move to be open, right? And some people don't move. And so to me, Miranchuk, is drifting into positions. He's not a runner, but he's drifting into positions, and he's smart both offensively and defensively. Complements. He's neither like a super attacking midfielder nor really a super defensive midfielder, but he's really a box-to-box kind of midfielder. To me, in front of a Sleaze is awesome. And then the third guy who's a midfielder is Almiron. Now, whether you think he's a forward or a midfielder, but Almiron is a willing runner, is a dribbler, can deliver the ball, and can score goals. So, again, checks off all those boxes.
We don't know everything right now, but where would you play Almiron if ideally you've got Latte in front and you have two other quality forwards?
Well, so
would you play him as that attacking?
You got to start with who do you have forward. So obviously, again, people are down on Latte Loth. I think to me he's dynamic, he's fast. You want a guy who can get behind people, and he's going to be amazing under Tata. You got to figure. We also have a terrific. I don't know whether it's a backup or a second striker in Tiare. I think he's legit.
I think he's proven himself that he's dangerous enough to be a legit.
Yeah. And we have another guy who can move around and get in the lines and create havoc in Sabalonice, and who can score. Before he got, in his head, he didn't score last year as Dyla got him more and more in his head. But I think he can score, and he will score. So, what are you missing? Could you, if you offered me an in-prime Nagbe.
Who's our left forward?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So if you offered me an in-prime Nagbe, he would play as a true center midfielder. And then, you could have Miranchuk in front of him, and then Almiron becomes one of a front three.
Yeah.
If you never get another midfielder, then maybe Almiron becomes the third center midfielder. That's pretty aggressive because you really only have one great defender in there in Sleaze. So Sleaze, Miranchuk, and Almiron is a three, but you can make it work. That's an aggressive offensive, thing. Obviously if you're playing three up front, Saba, Latte Lath, maybe Almiron, or you could, so if you sign another forward, then you put Almiron as a third midfielder. If you sign another midfielder, which is what I think I would probably preference, then Almiron becomes the third forward.
Okay.
I think we're one player away, and if you look at the, like the Tata, what he ended up with, like literally we talked about a lot. The team that we lined up in the final, right, when we won the MLS Cup, that team started with 2 defensive midfielders. Okay. And so to me, if you're looking for that, he's got one more midfielder who can defend who needs to come.
All right.
And I do not think the answer is Fortune. Fortune drives me nuts. He doesn't move. He doesn't score. He doesn't assist. People are like, they're so high on him. He doesn't tackle. I'm like, what does he do? Like, he does a little bit of good things or whatever, but like, show me something that I can really, when I'm looking and evaluating, I'm like, if you're an attacking guy, you better, as a midfielder, you better score 5-6 goals a season, 7 goals a season. You better have a few assists. He doesn't do that. If you're a defensive guy, you better be winning the ball 5 times a game, really getting tackles in. He doesn't do that. So then you're like, if you don't do either one of those, you're really a champagne player. You're, great. If you've already got a defensive midfielder and you've got an attacking midfielder, great. Then you can have a third guy who doesn't do that. But
that's not us right now.
That's not. Yeah. And why you want to waste that anyway? Why do you want to have a great player, right? So, yeah.
Okay. So depth wise, how's our depth? Or is that where some signings are going to be desperately needed?
I'm okay. I'm actually pretty high on a couple of the young players who we haven't seen that much of. So I am pretty high on Will Riley.
Okay.
I actually think, honestly, if you had me right now and you couldn't sign anybody else, I'd probably have Will Riley in the third starting midfielder position as the box-to-box guy. I think he can really control the ball. I think he's a willing runner. He could tackle.
Local kid.
Yeah. He looks like, to me, he looks like an upgrade over Alzad. Right? He's a better player. Okay. The other one I'm pretty high on as a backup guy who can come in is Cayman Togashi. Every time he comes in, very limited, and with the twos, he's dangerous. I don't think he's our starting forward, but I think as a 10-minute guy, I love him. He's an upgrade over a Josh Wolf or Tyler Wolf.
Tyler Wolf.
I was like, what?
Not a Josh Wolf, but Tyler Wolf.
Tyler Wolf, back in the day, after we're comparing him to some guy who wants to come in the last 10 minutes and change things, I think he's an upgrade. Okay. So I'm pretty high on both of those players. Most of the people out there are really high on a few people. Dominic Chung-Kui, I am not. Yeah. He looks like this classic American defender who can't defend, can only go forward. I'm like, we have no place for that in our team. I'm not very high on him at all. And the other one that people are really high on is Luke Brennan, people say, he should be the starting third forward. And I'm like, I don't see it. I mean, he's great dribbling the ball, but he gets knocked off the ball easily. He doesn't really look like he's going to score. He doesn't really look like he's going to assist that much. He doesn't tackle. He's not big enough to tackle and whatever. Again, to me, he looks like a champagne player. I just don't see a role for him.
And then the other guy that had some promise was Noah Cobb, and he's gone. Is he on loan or do we trade him?
He's on loan, but they're about to finalize it as permanent. Okay. Because they loved him.
Do you know anything about where our finances are? How are we doing in terms of...
We're great. We have so much TAM and GAM.
That is general allocation money and...
Targeted
allocation money.
We have
for those.
A ton of TAM and GAM.
And speaking of that, Inter Miami signs Lionel Messi for another 3 years, right?
Yeah.
3 years, really?
Yeah, and
play 3 years, but
if Lionel Messi wins the World Cup or even has a good run, I think he'll do it on his own terms, right? But I think we'll see maybe 2 more years of him in the MLS. So,
gotcha.
Did we lose the feed?
Nope, we're still there.
But yeah, Leo is obviously a proponent of them taking the caps off of the TAMs and GAMs and the owners actually
he wants to be able to recruit any of his friends
who are
really good.
But the league's in a good enough position to do that. Like, we're not, like, if a couple of teams actually do fold, it wouldn't be the worst thing anyway. So I think that we're in a position now where the owners need to pony up and be able to
Are we in
pay.
a position to truly open it? I don't think so. I would
Yeah.
disagree with that.
There's how many teams are there, Dave?
There are a lot of teams.
30 teams.
But
we could 10 of them could fall out that don't want to pay the money, and then let's play
but
some ball.
You're going to create very, very quickly like teams that have zero chance of being competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're
There
in a smaller
already are.
market-
There already are.
No, look, Vancouver made the final.
There are so many bad teams in the MLS, including Atlanta United this last year.
Yes.
That
No,
it
but I'm
is-
talking about smaller marketplaces that can compete right now. Like even Cincinnati is a smaller marketplace that can compete right now.
Yeah.
If you open up the floodgates, forget it. They can't compete.
Bye-bye, Cincinnati. If you don't want to pony up, then don't play.
I
See
don't
you
think
later,
that's in the best
chili
interest
dogs.
of the league right now. Maybe
Yeah,
eventually,
no,
but right now
it is
So
in the
you
best
would
interest.
rather see it like Spain, where there's 2 teams that win every year.
That's the thing.
Yes, I would definitely at this point rather see
Really?
a little bit more of the hierarchy that the other. Because that's our goal is to be one of those leagues, and that's how it is in every other big league.
Yeah, but
there
so-
are the top 5 teams. In fact, it's really the only top 4. Like I mean, you look at like who's
I
really
say
playing
this to
well.
most people, and they're like, "Oh, La Liga, La Liga, La Liga," and I'm like, "Yeah, but how many times have you tuned in to watch 19th place versus 20th place in La Liga?" And
No.
if you watch that game,
No, but
are you very excited
No,
about
but-
it? Are the fans very excited about those teams?
No,
Like-
but you do tune into Arsenal versus the Wolves.
Yeah,
Right?
well, the Premier League has been way much more, and they have some things. They have unlimited salaries, but they have
And the Wolves, who are atrocious, my team,
But-
actually gave Arsenal a run 2 weeks
They
ago,
did.
and even Liverpool. Like
they have revenue sharing in terms of TV and some other things that keep it that way. That's a very different thing.
well, we
They have a little bit of MLS in them. Not in terms of we have a true salary cap. They don't have that, but they have revenue sharing. In terms of TV and other things and sponsorship. So that's what keeps that being Wolves having a good team and whatever.
Yeah, Wolves are going down. That's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean the whole promo relegation thing in the MLS will never happen.
Nope.
But
Doesn't seem
good
like it's
news
coming
is
anytime
we
soon.
we are moving as we predicted
Yeah.
to the European schedule after the World Cup.
2027.
Yeah.
Not directly after the World Cup, but
So how is that going to work, Dave?
Yeah. What's that?
How are we rolling into this? How is the season? How are the
there's going to be they haven't decided exactly, but there's going to be a weird
so
little
2000,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
2026, this next MLS season will roll just like it always has in terms of like
Yeah.
the season schedule. Generally, we obviously have a huge summer break with the World Cup. That's one differentiator, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a month and a half of no soccer for any leagues,
right.
but then we're back.
So you basically have to go play, 2 consecutive years of playing with no break, kind of. Because so normally our league starts, we're about to kick off basically end of February, and then we run through the fall. That's the current MLS schedule, right? Whereas the rest of the world kicks off in August and runs through basically March, right? So, in August, right, which is when those seasons are starting, we're right in the middle,
Yeah.
right? So you have to stop short our season, obviously. So we're going to start a season that following year. We're going to start a season in February like normal, and we're going to get to August, and the season should be starting. We're in the middle of the season. So they have to have an abbreviated season. So there's going to be one season that's going to start probably a little bit on the early side, maybe, January or early
hold on,
February.
let's say we're going to 2027.
Yeah.
At the 26 years done, we're going into the normal preseason into February
Yep.
and March where we normally start the season. You're saying
Yep.
we start in 2027 and
it's got to be like a 3-month season. So you play like February, March, April, May or something. Then like a 4-month season, abbreviated season. Then you stop, you take off June and July or something. You have some kind of break, and then you go right back into a full season.
Wait. What?
I'm still not following you.
Okay. I need to back up. Okay. So we have 2006 is going to be normal.
Yeah.
So then, even though we have a huge break in the summer, it ends the same time it typically does, or we're ending later? Are we pushing everything back?
2026 is
Done.
same.
It's the exact same.
It's going to end
MLS
like normal
playoffs
in October.
end in December.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
October,
Okay. So
November.
2027.
November. Sorry.
We start maybe a little early, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. And then only go to May.
Or whatever. You have to be ready to start a season in August. So that's August is normally right when you're getting to the 2/3 of the way through our season. And so you can't have a season that starts in February and runs straight through August and all the way to the next year. That would be the most endless season ever. So the only way to make it work is you have to have some kind of shortened, abbreviated season. So there's going to be some weird little season that's going to start at the normal MLS time, which would be like February, but has to end sometime in the summer to give them a month or two break.
So the MLS, if I can reframe this, you're saying the MLS 2027 season will basically be a half a season of soccer.
That's right.
That'll be a spring soccer, and then somewhere in this early summer it ends.
Yep.
And there'll be anointed champion of 2027 with an asterisk.
Asterisk, because it'll be a weird.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to get to, because that's how I read it too. And I'm like, and then you have what is same with European. It's called the 2027-28 season.
Right.
The 2027-28 season will be the first legitimate normal European calendar, world calendar that MLS ever goes to. 27-28.
Right. And they haven't decided on all the details of what the format will be for that small season or what.
Okay.
I mean, I would argue, it might be the time to not have a playoff, right? Because the playoff extends everything. Why not try to get in as much of a season as possible? It would still be abbreviated.
The Supporter Shield wins
and then the Supporter Shield wins it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
See how fans react to it, because maybe even you can get rid of the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, the other cool thing about the new, I don't know if this is even in 2026, but I know it is in the 27-28 season, that we will play every team in the league at least once, and then every team in your conference twice. And how many conferences will there be?
There's going to be a lot.
Wait, what?
They're switching to conferences that are going to be basically 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 conferences, right?
Yeah, and they're just trying to decide how they're going to divide it. I think
that way you travel less and in a smaller proximity for most of the games. But you will travel to play LA at least once, or vice versa. They come play us.
So sort of like the NFL.
You play a true home and home against the teams in your division, exactly like the NFL.
Yep.
And then you play a random sputtering of the rest.
Now, what I can't remember, are there 4 or 5 divisions?
I don't know, but we at least, I mean, nobody's decided. They're still talking about it. But in what people are proposing, it seems like we'll do pretty well. Like most of the drawings have us. It's Miami, Orlando, us, Nashville, and Charlotte as our 5-person division.
Sense. Okay.
This is the Southeast. Yep. But some of them, it doesn't work perfectly. You have to take one, like the Texas and the Canada teams are a little bit hard to fit in. So some of them, somebody's getting screwed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for us, most of the maps that I've seen so far have us as pretty cohesive geographically and make sense. There's some, I've seen a couple of versions that have DC United dropping into ours, which is a little weird, but
it's not too far away.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Because there's a bunch of New England schools, New England teams. There's 2 in New
hour,
York.
It's an hour and a half flight. That's not very far.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But they're not going like NFL in the sense that, like, if you win your division, you automatically get in the playoff. It's still
then the question is, how do you decide what the playoffs is? And it hasn't been decided.
Okay.
I think,
and they also 2000.
I think it is thinking a little bit more like the NFL model.
2000. The other thing they have to get right, Dave, in this 27-28 shift is create a playoff system or a tier system, whatever it is. If it's Supporter Shield and there's not a playoff, there's always going to be a playoff. It'll be the playoff. Whatever the playoff system is, it needs to remain the playoff system.
Yeah, it can't be changing every year.
But it won't, will it? Because college football still hasn't figured that out themselves.
Well,
So
the
just
reason
figure
why
it's
they change it
keep
every year is
changing
because it's horrible. Everything they come up with is horrible. Now, part of the reason it's been a little horrible is because they've had to fit the international break in the middle of the playoffs, and that's really bad.
Okay.
That's gone in the new when they switched the format. So that's been there's 2 reasons to switch, or 3 reasons to switch the calendar. One is for transfers, so that you're transferring with everybody else in the world, right? So everybody's on the market at the same time. Because right now, we're in the transfer market for us. We're looking to sign all these players. We need a new goalkeeper. But nobody's leaving their team in the middle of the season, in Europe or whatever, or in South America. Oh. Anyway, so that's number 1. Number 2 reason to do it is the international break in the middle of the playoffs is really weird. And that international break is built on the international calendar that everybody takes off. So now that will be normal. So that's great. And then the number 3 reason is, what are you going to compete against American sports-wise? So the original idea is they wanted to put as much of the season against nothing. That's why they put MLS this way, because the weakest they thought was baseball, or at least the one they could compete against more. And so they put it up against baseball for most of the season. Now, in doing that, the playoffs went up against the beginning of the college football and the NFL season, right? Which is the number one.
But the last 4 years, we've been up against no one because we've been on Apple TV.
Yeah, well.
So we're not up against anyone.
Well, you're still competing at the same time.
And which, by the way, but that's bollocks if you have to sign into Apple TV and purposefully go to MLS, and you're not randomly showing up against anybody unless you want to watch MLS, which, by the way, is going to be going away. MLS package. If you just have Apple Plus, you'll go automatically get the
now
MLS
by going to the
pass.
international calendar, right? You switch the playoffs, if there still is going to be a playoffs. The playoffs becomes, sort of March, April, right? You're going against March Madness, college basketball.
Oh, how dare
And
you.
you're going against NBA finals.
I'll take that bet all day long.
Take what bet?
That we should beat basketball upside down all day long. What a terrible sport basketball is.
March Madness, though? What?
No,
You're going to turn
thanks.
off March Madness to watch the MLS?
I will turn off March Madness all day long in those sneakers squeaking.
No.
Anyway.
Y'all can take that to the...
So it does
Pasture.
create these things. Now the obvious, we cannot come up with a playoff structure that anybody likes because it all sucks.
Yeah.
Right? And we don't want our playoffs competing against any of those things. The obvious thing is just to have a winner. Right? If you go to the international calendar, right, and you're playing over the whatever, you then by the end of the season, whoever has the most points wins, like in every other league in the world.
I was going to get to that. So
Come on.
then you have a table with points, and then
matters.
People start understanding what 0 points are, what 1 point is, and what 3 points are, and why that matters, like on the international level. So now you're educating, your mainstream U.S. observer who's just enjoys going to watch Nashville because they are fun to watch, or Atlanta United, fun to watch. And now they're learning more about the game and how the rest of the world operates on soccer. Now, it does lack the pro and rel piece of that. Do you think that is
That's a huge minus for it.
It's a big
'Cause
minus
the other
for
thing
it.
that creates interest in a season where you only have the champion is promotion relegation, because not only is there the fight for the champion, there's 4 teams going for the championship, but there's also...
Can we compensate with that? Because there's definitely going to be no relegation, right? Because no San Diego owner is going to buy into a
anytime
team
soon.
where they are all of a sudden out of that. It's never going to happen.
Yep.
But on the upside, can there be more things like the CONCACAF Champions League, the Liga MX, U.S. Open Cup, like narrow it down, right? Like you can't compete in the U.S. Open Cup unless you're... And that would kind of what MLS wants anyways. Not every team to compete in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Cup, right? But let make it be the top 8 or something like whatever it is, right? Like then you start making the points matter for competing in other tournaments. So CONCACAF,
The League's
US
Cup,
Open Cup,
which
et
has
cetera.
not been that successful because of the format and the timing of it, what has to happen, and it will help going to the season because you'll match now Mexico season more, but what should happen is instead of having every single team in the MLS play against in a tournament with every single team in Mexico, what they should have is a true kind of Champions League thing where you got to get in the top 4, and then you're in a league right? A Champions League where there's 4 teams from Mexico and there's 4 teams from the U.S. or whatever.
Yeah.
And you play over a whole, there's a group format in that and there's a real winner.
Yeah.
And then there's a real incentive down the stretch. You really want to finish top 4, just like in the Premier League. Nobody wants to finish, 5th, 6th.
What we're talking about right here, by the way, is the answer.
Yeah.
It really is, because we're excited about the Leagues Cup, but I think now in hindsight, what you're talking about is a way better model, and moving to a point system with a table that now incentivizes the teams to play for something. Something might matter to come in 10th place even, or 8th place.
You could not do a Champions League style format with Mexico because we weren't playing on the same calendar as them. But now that it's switched, you can.
So
or at least it's feasible.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of smarter options than doing this elongated October-November playoff for MLS Cup and doing a point system that also incentivizes other teams that actually have something to play for towards the end of the season to try to reach the top 8. I
could
MLS.
even see us now. Eventually, I would be really interested as the commissioner of MLS and Liga MX having a Champions League where the somebody who did well in our Champions League, for example, competes against the Copa Libertadores, South America championships.
Sure.
Let's have a whole America's, club winner and see. Initially probably we get killed, but eventually, the idea is that we should be as good as the Argentinian and Brazilian clubs.
Yeah. I think that would be a fantastic model to create on this hemisphere.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have a real league because it's too far, but you could have teams that did well in their championship and our championship. Because the seasons would be the same, you could bring them together at one place to have a small, semifinal and final or something.
Yeah. All right. What are we missing here? Tata, the coach, new season.
Yeah, the other thing.
What do we need outside of a starting goalkeeper? You think Hibbert's the answer?
No. If I were constructing our team, I would have been all in on the Canadian goalkeeper. I can't remember.
I think goalkeeper is still my biggest
And I would
concern.
still be a big concern about goalkeeping. My number 2 concern would be having another midfielder who can do a lot of different
Matt
things.
Edwards is back at right back, I'm good, but if not, that's a gap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the third thing is you might think about, another defender who could play outside. Outside of that, you've got Latte Loth as a striker. You've got a really good backup in TRA. You've got a lot of guys who can create in Almiron and Saba and Miranchuk. Those roles are played. You've got a true defensive midfielder. We have no answer if Sleaze goes down. So that's why, again, to me, my number 1 thing is goalkeeper. My number 2 is another center midfielder. Hopefully a center midfielder who has some real defensive qualities.
Carmen,
hopefully one who can do it all, but
Carmen, how many minutes did Gregerson have in 2025? I want to do an over-under on 2026.
Oh, I can't tell you.
We'll get to that in a second. But, I'm also worried about our center backs. Even though, who's your guy, turn around? The Miha.
Hi, me.
Miha and Gregerson. Sounds great if they're healthy.
I like it.
If they're healthy, but it sounds real thin again behind that paper wall.
Well, if they sign the young kid from Argentina, then you have a 4th center back, and then you're really set, right? Because then you got Barracal and the young kid as the 4th. So that's good.
1,300 minutes, roughly, regular season.
1,400, yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to go over.
You going over?
Yeah, just because he's going to want to play.
That's a great point. Because, at some point I was like, I would sit out too.
You going over, under?
I'll go over.
I'm going under.
Yeah, you think he's just injury prone.
Some people are injury prone.
Yeah, that's for sure. I wouldn't. If I were Tata, I am not counting on Gregerson being my center back and being in every match and every game or whatever. And I would, honestly, I would have a plan even from beginning to rotate him some.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have him playing every
Right.
single game to give his body.
And don't get me wrong, I'm going under, but I'm a huge Gregerson fan. I just don't think
Yeah.
he's going to stay healthy.
Well, Gregerson is interesting. He has this aggressive streak. He has the pace to get back on things. He has the height. He's got good on one-on-one abilities. But again, he got out of sorts because he was playing with Williams, and that's the other guy we didn't mention.
Yeah.
He's been playing with Williams or Braum.
Is Williams gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gone.
Yeah.
And those guys are so bad because it's so discombobulated. He's aggressive going to win the ball. And Mihaj had this problem too. When he first came, he's so aggressive to win the ball. He'd turn around and be like, where's
my cover? Where's my cover? Where'd who go?
Where'd you go?
Yeah, I mean, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure Tata's the greatest defensive coach, but at least he added organized beyond that.
Yeah.
And I think Tata is a really, really good talent evaluator. And so sometimes it's just really about, making sure you can evaluate the talent if you get the right players. So if you, I don't know whether this is the answer, but maybe Tata's like, he thinks that the right back is sold, right? It's done. He's talented enough to do it. He clearly, when they were evaluating it and they were like, oh, do you want to retain Brooks Lennon? He was like, no.
Real quick.
And that's smart because, there's a lot of people who think Brooks Lennon sucks. And he's a very polarizing player. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, Brooks Lennon is the greatest thing. And it's because you don't understand soccer, right? Because if people are only watching him on the ball, you're like, oh, these crosses are good. And then people who are only watching him defend, you're like, his defending sucks. And that's all the same player, right? But the bottom line is that he was like a luxury. And without the defending, you just can't. Like, there's no way that you can be a consistent title-winning team in any league, certainly in the MLS, with Brooks Lennon as your right back because he's such a liability defensively. If I had him and if I was stuck with him, I would move him up the field because you have to.
So, Captain America in AC Milan having
Lighting
a
it up.
banger of a season.
He's back in tied for first place in scoring.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. Go ahead.
He is having. It is true that people.
Plus, there's a rumor that he's dating Sydney Sweeney now.
Yeah.
Oh,
supposedly he's coming. Like
Oh,
stop that
Lord.
story. It's a social media driven one.
It's not true?
I don't think so.
It might.
Carmen, you're our,
I haven't. I don't
you're our
know.
Instagram
Sydney
stalker.
Sweeney is like off my radar, but it could happen for the World Cup. It could happen.
Isn't he dating some girl? That
I thought he was. I
Yeah,
thought
I
he'd
don't
even
know.
like close to propose to her.
Yeah,
at one
I
point.
think it's just social
Yeah.
media.
That's
spinning
just a
that up.
rumor?
Yeah.
Okay. Shows you what I know. I'm not on Instagram at all, so.
No, I saw something on my feed earlier. It's amazing how this works. It said, "Stop the rumors about Sydney Sweeney."
good.
Oh, he denies.
Yeah.
He denied it apparently.
Yes. So let's transition to the World Cup draw then, with Captain America being a part of the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah. All the people who had written off Pochettino. Are we writing him off now? We never did.
I
Wait,
did for a hot minute. Yeah,
you did.
actually,
I didn't.
I'm still not sold
I'm
on
about
him.
to say, are we not writing? I mean, I'm not
sold on.
I'm
that
not
team.
yay him yet.
I'm not. Have we played anybody? Anybody?
Yes.
Who?
Our last games, we've beaten World Cup teams.
Oh, stop it. We got shellacked by the legitimate teams we played.
They haven't been shellacked in a long time.
Got shellacked.
No, not since we had all the player issues and we got shellacked by Mexico.
No. Was it Switzerland and
Switzerland, yeah. And that
who's-
right up to that.
Japan?
Yeah. That was all in that right up to the one
Yeah.
tournament.
Those are actually good teams. We
Now, the
played.
big thing is that does anybody know the injury status of Richards?
I know that's
Did he get injured today?
last week. I
Like,
think in the
Yeah.
Couple
or earlier
days
this
ago.
week. Yeah.
Or was it by Erlen Haaland heading the ball over his head that he injured his ego? I mean, yeah. And then Tyler Adams. Is everything falling apart, Dave?
That's the
Well,
yeah.
defensively, that's the thing. We have to be healthy. If
Yeah.
Tyler Adams and Chris Richards are healthy, that's a big plus.
I mean, Tyler Adams would be coming back at the bell.
Right at the end.
Because he has a
all the way
full
to
M. Yeah,
Like
I mean,
3 months,
yeah,
3 months.
he's out 3 months.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So you could theoretically, like, if he
Damn it.
had a miracle and was like ready for those friendlies that are coming up in March,
Yeah.
like,
To which we have tickets.
To which you
Oh,
wouldn't.
that's right. That's
To
right.
which you wouldn't want to play him though, right? Like that would be kind of. I don't know. I think you'd want to slow roll him a little bit, and then maybe if you got on a run in the World Cup, like he'd come in as a hero. I don't know. Like that's the best case scenario for him to make the squad.
I think you got to give him every chance to be on the
I agree.
on the plane, so to
I was
speak.
about to say,
There's no
wasn't he
plane,
our
but
captain last World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
He
got to
makes
bring
our
him.
team go.
You got to bring
But
him.
once you have that many injuries back to back,
Richard should be back at
But
Samsung.
at least the guys who have played deputized for him a little bit have looked better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But if anybody gets,
I'm still very high on the Pochettino in the U.S.
I think he's done a good job of yapping. I need to see it
He
against.
put the players a bit in their place.
I need to.
He
see,
won that
He
PR
won that.
battle,
He
and he
won
came
that.
through it without them being pissed off at him.
He won the battle of the I'm going to make them earn it or
Yep.
whatever. He hasn't won the I'm going to beat a good team.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because we haven't played a good team.
well, that too, yeah.
Okay, and even Uruguay, who we beat handily, what was it 5-1?
Yeah, we crushed Uruguay.
Yeah, you know who I'm taking in the World Cup bet if we play Uruguay? I'll put $1,000 on Uruguay
No,
Really?
Bielsa's a nut job.
all day
Really?
long. Uruguay always bats over their average in the World Cup.
In the World Cup?
Yeah, don't
Not with Bielsa, though.
don't bet against them.
He's the coach there, you know.
It doesn't matter who the coach is.
Nut job.
It's the people of
Doesn't matter
Uruguay.
who
It's the
the
people of Uruguay who are going to demand better, and if they don't, then when they come home, they're not going to be allowed back in that country. They don't beat the U.S. That's how I feel. Like that's the difference of a friendly against Uruguay versus a World Cup game against Uruguay. And I'm not saying we couldn't beat them. I'm just saying like that is how different of a game it would be. In my
Carmen's
opinion,
looking. He pulled up our schedule. We got a couple of good games. We're playing Germany,
Yeah.
Senegal, Portugal, Belgium, Chile, Paraguay. Those are our warm-ups.
Wait, is Paraguay in our?
I thought we only had 2 left. There's 4 games. Or
There's
two,
a bunch left because
or two of those. 2 of those are at
There's 2
Mercedes
windows.
Benz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Belgium and Portugal, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
Are we keeping our tickets? We're going to try to sell those.
Keep it on. I'm going.
Okay.
Game.
All right, we're going.
Going to watch soccer. So
We're
that's
gonna
the
go
other.
watch Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's the other thing we haven't talked about.
Can we throw?
Does
things?
anybody have World
Can
Cup
we throw
tickets?
like soft things at Cristiano Ronaldo and boo him? I want to do that.
Does anybody have World Cup tickets?
I do not.
Yeah.
No, because it sucks. You know, they just set the record, the history record, the highest a ticket has ever gone for. Well, I think it's the final.
Do you know
how much it sold for one seat?
What?
I'm frightened.
60,000
Where? What?
Do you know how much?
at MetLife.
What percentage have the tickets gone up this year versus Qatar?
Oh, it's a ton.
geez,
Take
ridiculous.
what's the percentage?
Oh, guess you know the answer.
I do know the answer.
Oh, okay.
At least on football.
So 100%
Football
would be a
Americas,
doubling price.
Football Americas, they talked about this.
Okay.
I bet it's even over 100%.
What?
I bet it's more than double.
Is it really?
500% is what Football Americas talked about. Yes, that's what they said. Yeah.
5
It
times
just
more.
sucks. So first of all, nobody can afford a ticket even, and you can't even get. You know, I went in the lottery like everybody else did. I didn't win. Did
Yeah.
you go in the lottery?
I didn't win.
Oh, I didn't.
I went in the lottery. I didn't win the lottery. Thank God, because I couldn't afford the seat anyway. But like, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible. I had this.
I mean, yes,
I've been talking to my kids for like years. The sooner it was just announced, like whatever, 8 years ago.
right.
It's like,
We're going to
I'm
be at all the games.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Well,
No.
travel to go see games, but you can't even afford to get into the freaking.
Can we get on the same page here that we need to rent an RV in
I
a
like
parking
this.
lot down at Mercedes Benz and lock it down for a month, and we're just gonna party non-stop.
I'm down with that. I'm so down with
120
that.
inch Sony Bravia TV. Like that's just a half of a seat, and
You
we'll
can
have that
get
thing.
the-
I mean, we're gonna have the best setup ever. Tacos. I mean, it's gonna be amazing.
That would be amazing.
And we'll party with everybody for all morning. I mean,
Although the games at Mercedes, I mean, it's actually interesting
We'll
because
stay here.
if you're in the parking lot, it doesn't matter. You're watching any of the games because the games at Mercedes are not that good. And this is the other
yeah.
big problem about.
but
the
we don't know
MLS,
what the playoff games are, though.
about the FIFA.
True.
Because they've expanded the tournament so much, they've really diluted some of the teams getting in the World Cup are
You don't think Haiti's good?
no.
Wait, what's the one that's here that I didn't even know was a country?
There's one
Like it's like what is the name of it?
Is it like Canary Islands or
Something,
Faroe Islands? Something
yeah.
crazy. There's one really crazy.
I mean,
It's got a population of like 1,000.
I'm sorry. The fact that Haiti's in the World Cup.
Yeah. Well, there's even a worse.
Who's that?
It's the.
What's the name of it?
She'll come up with it.
I'll find it.
You don't even know the name of the country.
No,
I didn't know it was
I
a
didn't know it was
country.
Nobody ever heard of it. Nobody had ever heard of it. Mikey Dobbs, and they're in the World Cup.
FIFA. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The most corrupt organization ever.
Yes.
I mean, they
And
really.
their FIFA Peace Prize.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
First of all, I mean, regardless of your politics or whatever, what does FIFA have to do with a peace prize?
the whole thing made no sense.
It's a soccer organization.
I mean,
Made no sense.
that's what happens with the organization that is charging a 500% increase after 4 years.
That's insane.
well, they're like, look, we can make a killing. Now, their argument,
Is they put all that money back into.
yeah, but that's not the real argument.
That is what they argue.
No, but the real argument, if you get them behind closed doors, is like, look, if we charge a normal price, so let's say we charge a reasonable price, like let's say we mark it up from,
$25 a ticket.
well,
That's a reasonable. That is actually a reasonable price.
but even if they charge,
Hold
let's
on.
say,
How is that not a reasonable price? Because that's
we
what
pay more for
that
Atlanta
is. That is what almost anybody who is a fan of soccer can afford.
True, but anyway.
Or,
So,
I mean,
but let's just
or
say,
should realistically spend on a soccer ticket.
but
Let's call it $100. Call it $100
yeah.
bucks.
Let's just say the tickets are 100 or whatever, or something more in the reasonable range, right? What they would say is that then there's such a demand that those people just turn around and sell it for the same price that FIFA's selling it for, and then those people make the profit instead of FIFA. That's their argument.
Beautiful. Let the people make some money.
I would argue like, look,
That's exactly how it should
What
work.
I said is they should have had some kind of, I don't know, gatekeeping or whatever, but certainly promote it, for example, give a sale possibility to anybody who has an MLS ticket, for example. Because if you, as an MLS season ticket holder, if you buy a World Cup ticket, you're probably not going to sell it. Some people will, of course, but most people want to go watch soccer, right? So that's the answer, is to actually target it towards an audience that cares.
So what are the knockout, like the group stages going for at Mercedes-Benz right now?
A ton.
What's a ton?
I think most of the tickets are at least, even the terrible tickets are like 1,000.
I think that's
Just for a group stage game.
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It's nuts.
So
Out of its mind nuts.
Yeah,
and
not
it's going to
going.
be like,
I can't justify that.
no. And actually, so the 3-ticket package for like a seat at Mercedes-Benz, like when you were in the lottery or whatever, some of them were as much as like maybe not 10,000, but like 6,000 or 8,000 for like 3 games.
Yeah.
You're like, it's crazy. Just go on to Ticketmaster and search the, just see what the actual, if you're trying to buy a ticket right now. Actually,
Are they on sale for like? Because we don't know who.
You got to be in a lottery. All of them are.
We don't know who the games are, right? We don't know the dates. We know what the groups are.
No,
now,
I think we know.
Ireland is going to be. We do.
Yeah, I think
We
it's
know
all set.
early.
Yeah.
What we got?
All right.
Let's
What do we have in Atlanta? Who's who?
we got? Oh Lord, I can't see that. That doesn't help us. But the countries are the one I didn't know: Cabo Verde,
Yeah.
Haiti, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Spain, and Uzbekistan.
The Verde one is like an island. It's
I
got
think
like
so.
1,000 people.
Cabo Verde. Yeah.
And they qualified.
Yep. So
Don't tell me if they're not going to get beat by a lot.
I've never been to Cabo Verde.
Yeah.
But I've seen the state of Haiti on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely not practicing in their own country.
Probably not.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's the other thing
It's
that's
just
exciting.
it's such a sham. They probably spent more on that team than they did the entire country to help a bunch of starving people. That's how bloody corrupt the whole operation is.
Well, the
It's
whole
disgusting.
world is corrupt.
It's disgusting.
Terrible. But the other thing that's good, the new U.S. National Team Training Center, which is in Atlanta, it'll be open, which is one of the reasons why the warm-up games are here in Mercedes-Benz, because they're going to be training here in Atlanta.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So that's where they'll be getting ready for the World Cup.
So, are we doing this parking lot thing I'm talking about?
I don't think we have any choice.
We don't have any choice.
I am entering the third round of the
So
lottery.
who's going to do the research?
Like,
Where we used to tailgate. What was that little bar right there? Is that still even around?
I think
Elliot's
it's being open at Elliott Street Pub.
Can we talk to the owner and be like, can we have this little corner, and I'll give you X thousands of dollars now, right? That we'll all group it in. Be like, you give us this. This is our spot. Contract signed right here. Okay. And so that's done. Then we have a spot. Okay. Then we go rent an RV. Like, I mean, you're talking
We
about
should just buy the Elliott Street Pub.
we should.
Rent it out for the World Cup.
Okay, forget it. Let's do it. I've always wanted to own a pub. I've always wanted to own a
Even
pub.
just for the World Cup.
Forget the World Cup. Let's just buy a pub.
No, we'll just buy it and have it be our World Cup headquarters.
Yeah.
I like it.
But it's really sad. Because I remember when the World Cup came in '94, and I went to matches in 3 different cities, and I traveled and just saw amazing matches, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
But it's not just here they're complaining. Like all these fans in huge soccer countries, England, Brazil, whatever. They're used to traveling with their national team, and they're looking at the tickets, and they're like,
and
nobody can afford
can't get
that.
here.
I know we are only audio right now, but if you've seen our podcast, where I'm standing in a place where there's a fireplace behind me that's over my head.
Yeah.
I should be able to afford a ticket to a goddamn World Cup game.
We're not poor.
Not.
But it's
not going to happen, though.
So crazy.
What is going on in the world?
It's just unbelievable that we can't get tickets and they can't enjoy it. And then you're like, who is buying the tickets? And it's just corporations.
Yeah. So then corporations just give them out. And
corporations and really, really rich people.
Yeah.
But people, really, really rich people who are not necessarily soccer fans. They're just like, oh, it's a thing to do, and we're going to go. That's not going to create a...
it makes me want to puke. I'm puking in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. We actually, for the U.S., it's funny because when we first hosted the World Cup, people said, oh, U.S. can't host the World Cup. And then they were shocked that every single stadium was sold out. Yeah. Right, and it was an amazing atmosphere. It was one of the great World Cups in terms of atmosphere and tickets and whatever.
See, that's where I think you're wrong. I think if FIFA were to sell the tickets at the right price, right? Like, I mean, $500, darn straight, I'm buying a ticket. Especially if I knew even like Ireland coming to play in the group stage, $500, man, I'd be like, sweetie, you and I, let's do this. Like, let's go watch Ireland play and. Or whatever. Like, I know that's going to be ridiculous amount of fun. That, like, going to a Madonna concert or Taylor Swift.
I was thinking like $300. Good tickets maybe be $500. Right. I know they were going to be both, corporate, whatever. There'll be more than that. But like Atlanta United, where we have amazing tickets, and we pay, $100 a ticket or more for our tickets. So we have amazing tickets. It's some of the best tickets in the whole stadium. But like, I was ready for it to be 2 or 3 times that. But not 10 times that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's just, and it's more than 10 times that.
40 times that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. When it comes to the games that you really want to see.
I don't think you can necessarily even get a ticket for $1,000.
Probably not. They said something towards the end. They were going to try to do something to get them down to like a reasonable level, but I doubt that.
They have a small number of tickets that they are giving to if you're on the supporters group for these countries for many, many years, and you can prove that you've traveled with them, a small number, they're giving them at decent prices.
Okay.
That's it. So like you have to be in Uncle Sam's Army, and that has a group that's thousands, and they're going to give like, I don't know, 50 of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that the core of that group can support or whatever, they'll supposedly create the atmosphere, but that's not going to do it.
No, never mind.
50 Uncle Sam's Army is not going to do it. Because, at the worst games, they have 50, Uncle Sam Army. Many of them, they have hundreds, thousands, whatever. And the idea is in the World Cup, they would all come to every game. There should be an Uncle Sam's Army that has, 8,000, 10,000, whatever people. And it should be a huge section. And it's not going to be that way. They can't afford it.
Yeah.
So sad.
Which is so sad and so pathetic and so terrible. And it's funny because what I was getting at when I was telling the story, that nobody thought the U.S. could do it, and the U.S. did so well. And now it's so flipped on its head. FIFA is so corrupt. They're like, look, we can have a World Cup in the U.S., and there's so much ridiculous generational kind of wealth in the U.S. that somebody was going to pay that. And they're like, let's just go for the maximum, capitalistic value. And if the ticket sells for $10,000, so be it. And you're like, okay, but who's buying that? And are they even going to? Some of the corporations, they don't even care. They might even show.
By the way, what do you think is happening at the Qatar stadiums right now?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, they're empty. What do you mean?
How many did they build?
I don't remember, but I remember everyone
Like
saying
7, 8 stadiums,
Yeah.
something like that.
And they said, soon as everybody leaves.
Like, what do you think's happening there except crickets? And I mean, what is going on? I hate it.
It's freaking FIFA. I blame FIFA for everything.
Yeah, they're the most corrupt organization.
And then the ones in Brazil, they got rainforests shooting through the ceilings of that one.
Yep. That one was a real boondoggle, the one they put in the rainforest there. I mean, these are, Brazil, you build a stadium, you're going to use it, right?
Yeah. That's true, unless you build it on an island in the middle of a rainforest.
Unless you do something really nuts. And the U.S. has no problem, like infrastructure-wise. We have incredible stadiums and everything, like beautiful venues for all this.
Yeah.
And they're just taking advantage of it. They're like, oh, look, every single stadium holds 80,000, and we're going to have 80,000, and we're going to sell each ticket for 10,000 a pop. 80,000 times 10,000, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, America.
But, like, really?
All right.
Anyway, let's put that out of our minds.
Okay. World Cup. What do you think of the draw, though?
Atlanta United.
No, hold on. Let's finish the World Cup.
Okay.
The U.S. men's national team draw, and then we'll wrap it up with.
It's funny, people saying, no, we have such a great draw. It's pretty good and whatever. But honestly, nobody has a bad draw because, once upon a time, the U.S. for years.
Yeah, so many.
So I don't know if you remember this, but, and a lot of American fans don't know this, but the U.S. and Mexico got screwed by the rules for years, right? Because the way it worked is the way they did the draw, they consciously tried to avoid South American teams and European teams playing each other early, right? So there was this the way they did the seeding, the grouping, whatever,
So
the
Mexico
balls.
and U.S. got a bunch of
So
European.
what would happen is the U.S. had, at times going into these draws, we had like sometimes as high as like a 60% chance of landing in the group of death because you knew you were going to get one major number one European team, one major South American number one team, and then us and it was really bad. And we got lucky one time, and I think it was the Bob Bradley year got a better draw, but we landed in the group of death all the time, and it was because of the rules. Anyway, that's all gone because they diluted the tournament so much that now they don't even have to worry about it because you can just put 2 good teams in every group and 2 terrible teams in every group, and that's what it is. Every group has 2 good teams and 2. There's like one group that's a little worse, and the rest of the groups are all the same. Yeah. Will there be an upset? Probably. But honestly, right now, if you went in and picked the 2 top teams from each group, you're probably going to get, you'll maybe miss one. Right? You can say it right now. Do you remember, Carmen, like in the early days of the women's NCAA basketball tournament?
Yeah.
And you could just pencil in every one of the Sweet 16, right? Because
So who do we got? We got Paraguay and Australia.
Mm-hmm. And then one.
Is that right? And then TBD European team, right?
Right.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but look at what's the worst group. Like they're all.
I mean, Australia is the scariest out of that whole.
I actually think Paraguay is a better team than Australia.
Yeah, but I think we proved it already in that friendly, and I don't think that they're going to get any
I don't
stronger.
think Paraguay is going to give us a problem either.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Miguel Almiron's their best player,
right.
and he's at the latter part of his career.
He's good. They have a couple of really good young players that can, hurt you if you're not careful. But yeah,
So
it's a really big deal though whether you finish first or second,
That's a good
right?
point.
Because that's the whole thing. The game in all of these groups between the two good teams that are there are the two decent.
well, that's
teams that
good
are
to
there.
know. So then there's
It's
something
really
to play
big.
for with the group.
Yeah, because you want to avoid, but it's it's the classic World Cup conundrum. You want to finish first to play the second place team, unless one of the big countries just takes their foot off the gas, like in Argentina finishes second or something, and then you're like, God, F me.
Which always happens, whether it's on purpose or not.
Right. It always happens. Argentina, when they won the World Cup, they lost their first match, right? That's exactly what happened. So here's the groups. Carmen pulled up the groups. Does anybody think any of those groups, like, what's your group of death?
There's
one group that's a little bit stronger, right?
who was it? It was the.
I felt like it was Germany, right? Where's Germany? I don't see Germany at all. What did you do with Germany, Carmen?
Is this 2026? Did I have the right one?
I was like, this does not look right.
That doesn't look
not right.
right.
That's why I'm like, what is going
That
on?
does not look
I
right.
thought it was Group
Sorry.
D.
Let's try it again.
You got a World Cup, Josh. You pulled up on the internet. That Germany didn't qualify.
Qualifiers.
It's news to them.
Sorry.
Group table.
Look it. Do that one?
Yeah.
Let's see.
There you go.
there it
Scroll
is.
down. And just more standings.
There it is.
There we go. So you got Mexico, South Africa, and Korea. These don't have the fourth team in because the playoff team hasn't been added.
So Group C's tough for sure.
Group C is decent because Morocco's good.
Yeah, Morocco's getting Scotland. But
Brazil and
but they're
Morocco.
Scotland's gonna play
But
super
again,
hard.
there's two good teams, Brazil and Morocco, and then
Yeah.
But it's Germany, Ivory Coast is the fourth team. Ecuador, that's the group of death.
No way. Jose.
But that's what I'm saying.
No, you are so wrong. Keep going, Carmen. That is not the group of death. Keep going.
Find it.
Yeah, it's not the group of
Find me
death.
a group of death
What's
that's worse
England
than that.
in?
Keep going.
England has a not so good jaw. That's a good group.
This
Group
one,
I,
France?
Senegal, and Norway.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
That's the
Case
one?
closed.
Okay.
Those are the two.
Yeah, no, it's I. It's not the one you said before. It's only I.
And this England, Croatia, and Ghana.
Yes, I and L. I and L. Your other one, stop it, Dave. Germany, who I would never bet against in a World Cup.
Ecuador's a good team. I don't know. Yeah, I agree.
They've never done anything
But
in
the
the World
bottom
Cup.
line is, so even go back to I. Like, I mean, that doesn't have the playoff team yet, but Norway's not
Senegal
a great
has
team.
always been very
Senegal's
difficult in the World Cup.
Yeah, but
You don't want to play
they're
them.
not great. They're
They're not great, but you don't want to play them, especially in a group stage. You don't want to play them.
Keep going down. L. So L.
That's a solid. I mean, L definitely takes a cake. Croatia,
Yeah, because you could see
Ghana, Panama.
and Panama's not a terrible team either.
No, they're a strong team.
That would be
That's the only group where you're like, oh, maybe. But honestly, you could pencil in the 1 and 2, almost every single group, and you probably
You should,
right.
yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's pencil them in. Let's see where we went
I'm
wrong.
pulling for Cape
Let's
Verde.
start at the top.
All
Okay.
right, there we go.
Oh boy, but
So-
you can't do it yet because you don't have the playoff.
Hold on. Let's just go quickly. Mexico, South Korea. Agree?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Canada, Switzerland.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay. Brazil, Morocco.
yeah,
Yes.
U.S., Paraguay.
yeah,
Okay.
I thought you said Australia.
Germany,
was gonna
Ecuador.
yeah,
Okay. Netherlands, Japan.
yep.
Yep.
Belgium.
There's like nobody else.
That's the worst group.
This is actually a tough one. This was a tougher one.
That's hard. What?
Oh man, this
Awful, and
this
awful.
is really Belgium and Egypt.
The
just
only
because.
thing is Egypt because they got Salah.
Yeah, but that one's a total crapshoot. So if I'm going to say G when we come back to this,
Okay.
that's the hardest
And you
two:
got Spain and Uruguay.
Spain, Uruguay,
Unless Cape Verde pulls off the upset.
Come on, Kate.
France, Norway.
Oh.
I think the favorite is going to be Senegal, France and Senegal. Norway,
Yeah, France and Norway. are my
outside
two
of
picks.
one player.
That's a one big player, though.
He's real good.
France and Norway.
I'm going France, Norway. You're
Pencil
going
that
Senegal?
in. You going
Take
Senegal?
Senegal, yeah.
We'll take Senegal. Okay,
All right.
that's not a bad bet.
That's not.
Yeah, I would go with
And then another one, and you're like, who? Argentina and who?
I'll go Algeria.
Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Like, come on, those are terrible.
Those are terrible. I'm going to go Argentina, Algeria.
I'll go Argentina, Austria.
Austria's terrible.
It doesn't matter.
I would take Algeria for sure over Austria.
Okay.
I mean, they're both terrible, but
Terrible.
then Portugal, Colombia.
Portugal, Colombia,
Yes. All right.
yeah. England, Croatia.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I would.
I'm going to go England, Ghana.
Again, this is the toughest one.
I'll go England,
But
Ghana.
anyway, there's not much.
Yeah.
You're like, boom, boom, boom. You can do it that quick.
Especially the top there, but there was a little more mud than I thought there.
But it should be wide. Oh, no, never mind. I'm taking it back. I was about to be upset about tickets again. I feel like some of these games are going to be such crap.
They're going to be horrible games.
But why are we paying? Like, why?
So, for example, scroll down again, right? We go down to the one with keep going. Oh, he's not. Go up.
go up
Cape Verde.
No, go up a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah. So, for example, how many people are paying tons of money to see Iran, New Zealand?
Nobody. No one.
In the U.S.? Oh, that's a hot ticket.
Or Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia?
Which will be in Atlanta, right?
Yeah. That's terrible.
That's the thing. Like, I'm hoping that when it gets close, at some point, somebody will be able to walk in for.
But see,
decent
that's where the Saudi Arabian money will come in. It'll be all corporate dollars, and that'll be that stadium will be full of Saudi Arabian fans.
I don't think so.
What? Really?
I guarantee it.
Get out. Okay. All right.
Who's the other group?
I guarantee you tune in. Where is Saudi Arabia playing? Where is that group stage playing?
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Guarantee you there is going to be
80,000 Saudis?
Yes.
Could be.
Really? Okay.
Could be.
I mean,
That's what they're counting on, for sure.
FIFA.
Okay, you're right.
I mean, they are gonna. I mean, I'm telling you,
I just
they'll
threw
be
up in
here.
my mouth a little bit more.
They're going to be here in droves. I mean, you don't think that oil money is going to have all these people over here? Come on.
I don't know, because there's a ton of money, but it's like concentrated in like 8 people.
I agree. But even if they have to have the people that built the stadiums in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, that they brought over from Saudi Arabia to build this, they'll send them over like, hey, we owe you this one. Go cheer our team on.
They're paying for them to come. Oh. I don't know. Anyway, the whole thing is just awful.
It is. But it will be a fun time because we will be in the RV.
Yeah,
out
RV
front of,
and
with our bar that we've bought.
We bought a bar.
I'm actually going to be out of town for the first 2 days of the World Cup.
Shut the front door. We need you pouring beers at Elliott Street Pub.
I know.
What are you
Or
talking
making
about?
steak sandwiches.
I'll be
or
here for the
something.
rest of the tournament. But the first 2 days, I'm going to be gone.
Dave's big RV. We're counting on it.
I mean,
I'm chairing a meeting.
if you're cheering it, can't you move it to like after the World Cup?
No.
Okay, fine. Is it in a World Cup city where at least you're watching with people who are?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Madison, Wisconsin.
Madison, Wisconsin.
We got some good bars there.
They got good cheese, I hear.
The cheese, yeah.
Squeaks.
Going to be another place to go. But
All right.
I was actually in Madison, Wisconsin years ago during a European championship, so it was pretty wild. The crowds were excellent.
Okay.
So I'll be having fun, but
All right.
yeah.
I feel like we're reaching the end.
Yeah, that's
my
right.
shoulder's getting a little.
Oh no.
Sore.
Oh no.
It's getting a little sore.
That's not good.
That's a sign.
All this action.
All right. Well, so we will be having a preseason kickoff, hopefully at Wild Heaven. But what's our snap judgment thoughts on Atlanta United? Good, bad? You want to throw out a number? The standings? This is not. You won't hold you to this at all because we don't know the roster yet.
But
Our
this
final roster.
season, right? There's still East and West Conference. Is
Yeah,
that
it's all the same.
okay?
The same.
So the same. I think we will finish 6th.
tournament.
I'm gonna go 4th.
I had 4 also.
Okay.
That's my initial thought.
I'm gonna go 4.
Give us a good goalkeeper and another midfielder, and I might go higher.
Yep. Okay.
I mean,
This whole idea, Tom Bogert and whatever, that we need a whole roster overhaul is bunk.
maybe we can get Rios
Take
Novos
that
back.
Take that mustache, shave it, and at least bet on my 6, Tom. Come on. Right?
And on that note,
And on that note,
all right, dance us out.
come
that's
on,
right.
dance us out.
For
Just like back in
2025.
Guadalajara. You say it, I do it, coach. Football is life. Danny Rojas.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you in 2026. Have a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Hey-o.